Welcome back to RLCraft episode 2. Last time I harvested some resources, spotted way too many dragons, I mean at least one is way too many dragons at this stage, and had pretty much everything try to kill me. But you gotta know, it wasn't a dragon that killed me. No, I was taken out by a cinder. So yeah, my death counter is officially at 1. Luckily, I've taken shelter in an amazing floating castle, one that's just going to give me some experience and some base resources to help me get going on my journey. Now, today's journey is going to be a pretty terrifying one. I've got to venture out past the sea to find a sustainable form of experience. I need to craft an atlas in order to actually explore properly, and hopefully get some armor so I don't end up dying just so easily again. Let's see how that goes. Oh, and just a heads up, if the editing looks a little different this time, it's because I'm learning new software and experimenting with different styles, so please expect a bit of variety from episode to episode. And if you do enjoy today's episode, please don't hesitate to click that subscribe button and drop a like so you can continue on with following this journey. Alright, let's dive in. So, I've packed up all of my essential gear. I've got the food, I've got the tools, a few weapons, and some basic resources, because it's time to set sail for new adventures. I said this base is only temporary, and it is temporary. It's got nothing good for me here. It's surrounded by mermaids and ocean, and I need to find a good plot for like farming experience, and hopefully nothing will go too wrong. Hopefully I might find some hidden treasures along the way. Wish me luck. One of the greatest things in the Minecraft mod packs is when the seas are finally calm. This is where like there's no mobs around or no monsters there to hurt you. So I'm going to use this as my advantage to go loot some ships. There's a perfectly good ship there. It's probably got a couple of mob spawners on it. Hopefully it's got a lot of awesome loot that will help me out. But either way, it's going to be a source of basic experience, and I'll use that to level up as soon as I can. As I broke through the top of the ship, it was clear to me that this is going to be a perfect place to get some basic experience to level up at the beginning of the map. Hopefully I might even be able to get enough experience in order to actually level up to being able to equip iron. I decided to break through the top part and kill the enemies from above. This is the perfect way of making sure I receive no damage. Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's any skeletons, so I am perfectly safe from being shot down into the abyss and dying in a deadly way. I use this as a perfect opportunity to break all of the spawners and get all of the experience and items they drop from this. The zombies were getting in the way, and towards the end of the ship I did encounter a couple of skeletons. However, it's nothing that my halberd and I couldn't fix. My main priority for this adventure at the moment is leveling up my stats, and the whole reason I'm destroying these mob spawners is because they drop a lot of valuable experience. So I tend to upgrade my attack, my defense, and my mining for the time being, just to try to get them at a basic level that even if I do die, I'll be able to recover very swiftly. As it's really dangerous at night time for me at the moment, I decided to take a nap and I continued on with my experience gathering in the morning. Just so you know, this experience taking may take a bit of a while, so let me speed things up for you. Obviously, we're not done here yet. I have nowhere near enough levels in order to get my statistics up to where I want them to stand. So I had to continue on my journey, and I decided to go visit the neighbouring ship. Need one more level to level up. Oh no. I really hope nothing kills me. I'm having to be hyper vigilant right now. Right, do these things attack? Because I know some of them do and some of them don't. Only to be met with nothing but immediate danger. I ended up hightailing out of there just to find a location that could be basically a suitable camp. This could potentially be a prime location for an encampment in order to deal with my hypothermia for starters, and also to get some resources that could help me survive. Now, I know I talk a lot about gathering resources and getting experience and finding a safe place to stay, But if I'm completely honest, in the first, like, 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 RLCraft days, this is what's most essential. You will not find a more essential task than this. If you get distracted, you could die. If you go to the wrong place, you could die. If you encounter the wrong friendly mob, you could die. There's a bloody sea serpent there as well. Oh no. At the end of the day, you have to be vigilant, and you have to make sure you're following a step-by-step plan in order to survive properly. Admittedly, I have no plan. But now I'm on an island that has a sea serpent surrounding it, which is not going to be good for the long run. There's one... This is not going to go very well for me, is it? Famous last words. Am I right? So anyway, I decided to get pretty much the brunt of what I had left over in the chests and set sail in a new direction. And by setting sail, I mean diving straight into the ocean and going to the nearest bit of land, which just so happened to be behind the castle. From here, my adventure will continue forward. However, I kind of wish I slept before I left because, well, you know what the dangers lurk in the night. The next journey was kind of terrifying. I was kind of having to trespass next to the water, climbing trees and cliffs. All the while it's getting darker and darker and darker. And let's not forget the terrible effects that the weather provides in this game as well, such as hypothermia of both degrees, hot and cold. So trying to find a nice balance between that when you don't have anything like an Aussie liner to keep you, like, your clothes, like, at a temperate level, it's very, 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 very difficult to survive at night. So I gotta find myself shelter before anything, even nature itself, tries to kill me. This is not gonna be fun. Okay, did I just climb to the top of this for... just to drop down and die? Eventually, I ended up just, like, trapping myself inside of a wall just to survive half the night. I will see you guys when it is light outside.
12 seconds later.
For some reason, part of me decided I'd have better chance out there, actually in the wild, than being bored, stuck in a hole, waiting for the night to, like, end. And part of me's right, considering I was next to lava, and lava spawns these things called Zaphans, which I will be using to my advantage in a later episode. I will promise you that. However, nighttime isn't the safest place, and so I had to be extremely vigilant just to get this, just to make sure I survive. I figured my safest bet, even though I could risk hypothermia, was going up to the top just to get a scouting of, like, the surrounding area and make sure I could find a location that could be potentially suitable for me to survive, you know? All of this is in my survival. I've got to survive. If I can survive this night without dying, then I have hope for the future to come, okay? I've died twice. I don't need to add to my death counter anymore. While I was obviously climbing the hill, I collected some gravel, which in turn got me some flint, and I started making some basic tools. And I decided to use these tools to my advantage in order to actually start getting myself better resources and whatnot. Let's see where this ends up. These. No. Oh. I just wasted all my iron. As you can tell, I was a little disheartened that I just wasted all of my iron, and I needed to essentially deal with this hypothermia one way or another. So once again, I found myself locked inside a hole, but this time I actually had resources, so I used that to my advantage as well. I can hear skeletons, and I can hear death. this down. Okay, it's gonna heat up. It's gonna heat up. And then I'm gonna get some coal. I can make a torch. Because I have a light source. What I could also do is... I can't even light them from the furnace. No! Oh, I did not think this through in the slightest. While we're here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna get enough to make myself a stone tools, I think, and a stone shield. Maybe. I have enough resources to do this at the time being, so. After leaving the confinement of my makeshift tomb, I'd say, it was nice to see some sunshine. I didn't get quite enough time to admire the glorious, like, daylight though, because there was a zombie on its way to me already. All I did was slaughter one cow and a zombie just came to its rescue. Like, what am I supposed to do? I need to get leather one way or another. And then, after that, I was on my way to slaughter some more cows, because that's what you do in Minecraft. And the world glitched. And I saw an absolute atrocity in front of me. What the hell just happened there? And what was it that I just saw? After dealing with the world generation glitch, I decided to go deal with that skeleton I heard just a second ago. And then I caught a glimpse of a horror to see. I don't know if it's clearly stated in the game, but that there is a scarlet wendigo. It's basically a red variation of the mob wendigo. And wendigo is often said to be a malevolent spirit, sometimes depicted as like a creature with human-like characteristics, which possesses humans, and it is said to cause its victims a feeling of insatiable hunger and the desire to eat other humans and the propensity to commit murder. It didn't take me too long to get back onto my journey. However, there was one thing I needed to do first, and that was get myself a sleeping bag. So please look away while I slaughter these innocent sheep. After the sleeping bag was created, I decided to carry on with my journey. It was about 10 seconds later where I looked right and a giant cathedral just popped out at me between the trees. Holy shit, I found Jesus. And let me tell you, the architecture of this thing is insane. So, as per usual, the first thing I did was went to take a peek inside. Immediately, I noticed little flames coming up above the carpets and realised there's spawners there. It looks ancient and derelict. There's good news and bad news for this scenario, though. The bad news is on the right-hand side of the cathedral across the water, there is a dragon's nest. The good news is that the cathedral is going to be an amazing source of experience for me. And the other bit of good news is I haven't seen any dragons yet. On the left-hand side of the cathedral, there was an incredible village that is basically becoming my base camp for the future. You honestly have no idea how lucky I am to have found this place. Considering the majority of this world is filled with death and chaos, actually finding somewhere that's somewhat peaceful is a bit of a godsend. One of the great things about pre-built structures like this that I randomly generated is the loot that comes with it. And although this may just seem like an ordinary Minecraft map, because it is, for some reason it's also lighting up the entire area around me that's visible on the map. Which is really, really, really weird. And I still have no idea if this is a glitch or not, but I'm definitely going to use this to my advantage. So, after looting some of the homes, finding myself a book and quill and a compass, and activating the waystone, I feel like I finally had a place that I could call home. So I broke into one of the villager houses and decided to make it my own. I stole all the cake, crafted myself up an atlas, and then I started to tidy it up and make it more of what I would like it to be. Part of the renovation process always includes raiding the neighbouring villager houses. So I decided to go up the giant tower that was next door. Now this tower will eventually become a part of my base, but that's not for a much later time when I can actually be able to build around stuff. But what I did use it for was to take some of his valuables, such as the bed, because everyone needs a place to sleep, right? Alongside the bed, in the very top of the tower, I found the motherload of arrows, and some leather armor so I can finally start protecting myself from mobs. I did a bit more village looting because, I'm a bit of a hoarder and managed to grab myself an iron shovel among various bits of food here and there. As it was turning nighttime, I did decide to turn back and turn in for the night. I almost made the same mistake as I did in the last episode where I slept in a sleeping bag. However, I decided last second to cancel the sleep and then go into a bed. This was the perfect idea and it was a great place for me to finish my day. And a great place to end this episode. So I honestly really hope that you enjoyed watching this episode. If you do have any feedback, I'd absolutely love to hear some of your ideas in the comments below. And if you did make it this far, please don't forget to click that like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you would like to be updated on the future episodes. Thank you so much for popping by, and thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!